Welcome everyone to another episode of Ripping On. Tonight's ripping will be on 007, Time to Die. So let's hop right into it. So we start off the movie with this kid and her mom. We realize that the mom's a drunk or whatever. It doesn't really matter because the next few scenes that I see is the kid. She needs to defend herself, and she's capable of doing such a thing, which is somewhat a first sometimes for when it comes to movies. She's able to shoot the assailant who broke into her home, who also killed her mom. And yeah, you know, I don't know. If she's capable of doing that, why wouldn't you teach her to double tap the assailant, especially since you don't see any blood on the body when you're dragging it away? Technically, you would check for that. Like, come on. But yeah, so yeah, that's my first qualm or my first problem with the movie. But okay, we can keep going. Okay, so I am not like a physician or anything of the sort, but I do understand that certain traumas can occur when the human body is exposed to high pressure shockwaves and all that kind of stuff. So the man is standing in front of an explosion, which I mean, it looks like it can blow a hole in a wall or something, or a crater of a fairly good sized crater. The man is able to get up from this. His eardrums should be blown. They should be bleeding. He should have his eye sockets fucking like shattered in some way. He should have blood vessels that should have popped. He should probably technically also have fucking some kind of organ failure, concussions. Like, are you telling me he just gets up dazed slightly, makes a phone call, and then is able to just get up and run like a maniac to try and get wherever he's going? Are you fucking joking me? Like, what is he? Captain America? Like, come on, man. What the fuck am I looking at? Hello? Okay, so I'm not even going to argue with this. I'm just going to assume that they managed to sneak into the building because it doesn't explain how they get to the roof, how they are able to like zip line down outside of the building to get to the floor that they want. Now, not only that, it's a top secret area, and you're telling me they're able to cut the glass without setting off any alarms and all that kind of shit. All right, fine. I'm gonna accept it that they managed to figure out all of this shit and do it properly without anyone knowing this. Fine, whatever. Now you're telling me that these scientists are smart enough to know that this thing is super dangerous. You're going to tell me it's a two-step authentication process, which I'm okay with. Yeah, that's fine. But you're telling me these people are so stupid that they're like, I would rather keep myself alive and not know what that fucking deadly weapon is going to be used for? Are you fucking joking me? What? And then on top of that, why would they want to keep you alive if you're a creator to such a weapon? Like, why do you think they would keep you alive after you give them what they want? God damn, these scientists have to be the dumbest people on the planet. Like, what the fuck? This so far is probably the coolest scene in a little bit that I've seen, where they basically use magnets to basically escape. But still, I mean, how did they get that bomb into the building? How did they get it to the roof? like, like, come on. Like I said, it's a cool scene. I like it. I'm not gonna argue about it. It's worth noting that it was actually pretty cool. So I'm gonna put it in just for the fuck of it because it was cool. Anyways, imagine being an organization with some of the wealthiest people on the planet, and you go through this elaborate fucking plan to get James Bond killed with a genetically coded like virus. Like, what in the ever living fuck? Why? When you all are surrounding him and you could just take bullets to his head. What is this bullshit story I'm seeing? This is incredible. All right, so yet again, we're given an example of how badass a 007 agent is, right? We're seeing like James Bond walk out and just systematically snipe every individual he comes across. Like this is pro 007 shit, right? And I'm sure later on there's gonna be some kind of shit that's gonna annoy the fuck out of me because it's not gonna be consistent. Anyhow, the argument on the boat regarding the guy spilling the beans on the plan or whatever, and then all of a sudden to have the black guy be shot and in the end dies or whatever. So atypical of stupid ass fucking movies. I swear to God, this movie is like an Americanized version. This feels rushed, and it feels as if this story is garbage compared to some of the other Bonds that he's done before. So I don't know who decided to write this script, but it's complete stupidity. Like absolute stupidity. Anyways, I have issues with the whole entire like why in that situation does somebody need to die? Like fucking hell. And yet again, this guy is able to survive multiple explosions with ease. And why would the bad guy assume that James Bond is dead? We've seen him survive fucking explosions, apparently. Why would you automatically assume he's dead via just an explosion outside the hull of a fucking boat? Like, what the fuck, man? This is like the stupidest fucking script I've ever. Well, maybe not the stupidest script I've ever seen, but this is remarkably stupid. Like, who wrote this? Some like fucking brand new person who's writing the script? Like, what the fuck? Alright, so we basically find out who the bad guy is and all this kind of stuff, and then we go find out that it's this elaborate plan to kill all of Spectre, and I'm like, okay, whatever, sure. And then we also find out it's nanotech, which was one of my assumptions. It was either a virus or some kind of nano machine, some shit like that, right? So I'm like, okay, whatever. The only reason why I assumed it was nano is because of when he inserted it into the movie and then it crystallized into something. And I'm like, okay. Now, you're telling me these motherfuckers have this thing and this thing could spread like they just explained just now that this thing could spread no matter from just physical contact with individuals. It doesn't matter who you are. This thing is replicating and just spreading, and it can spread like rampant. Okay, I mean, I'm pretty sure they make a reference to COVID and all this kind of shit, but whatever. So you're telling me the only way for this motherfucker to be killed is by the psychiatrist, which is Bond's ex-girlfriend, by some miracle chance. Um, the only way for the only way to kill him. So it's not the person who is cleaning his clothes because he's got to have fresh clothes. It's not the pipe system where he takes showers that you can infect. It's not the people who make his food that you can literally infect with. It's not even the food you can infect and have him eat it to kill. What is this garbage? Are you telling me the person who came up with this plot didn't think anything of this? It didn't think, oh my god, you can make an airborne thing for every individual inside of that building who would potentially come in contact with this fucker, and you're telling me like you couldn't think of that and say, oh, it's super fucking easy to kill this twat? Are you telling me even then the person who puts him in the chains, like there are so many ways there would be contact with this individual and this person couldn't have thought of it? Like you're telling me it's this guy is in a hole so confined that he has infinite amount of clothes to change, all the food he ever needs? Like, get the fuck out of here, man. This is so fucking stupid. Like I said, this movie seems so fucking rushed and so fucking goddamn pathetic that I don't even think this can't be the people who wrote this, like the previous Bond movies. Like this is fucking ridiculous. This is so fucking stupid. This is so Americanized. It's beyond garbage. Okay, so basically we've infiltrated the enemy's base. We discover their plan, that they're planning on killing millions of people apparently. And I'm wondering to myself, hmm, how are they gonna fuck it up? That's the first thing that came to mind when I was watching the scene. I was like, how are they gonna fuck it up? And you know they're gonna fuck it up because it seems they lack imagination when it comes to this. Because seriously, I doubt they're gonna show how evil the villain is, but I'm sure I could potentially be wrong, but let's see. Holy smokes. I do not understand what's the point in giving an individual a 007 status and have them be a babysitter for fucking two civilians. Like, who gives a flying fuck if it's the family members of James Bond? Why would you take another individual who's as badass as you and then just have them be a babysitter? Anyways, yet again, another scene with explosions. I'm assuming this was supposed to be funny, but it is ridiculously stupid yet again. I do not understand who thought of this fucking script. It's so stupid. So basically, I finished watching the movie. There isn't much to be said about the remainder of the movie. Like, I think it's like 15 minutes or something like that. Okay, so I want to hop into my criticism of this goddamn fucking piece of shit movie that I just witnessed. Um, 007, the new one. She's basically there for 2 seconds throughout the whole entire movie. They give her momentary glimpse of her being a badass, but yet by the book, and apparently isn't as OP as James Bond. And I'm like, why? Why would she be given the title then of 007 if she's just gonna be there as a showpiece? Nothing other than that. Fucking stupidities on that aspect, and I don't know if it was what do you call it, a creative decision to do this because they wanted to eliminate James Bond or some shit like that. Complete garbage yet again. The whole entire reason behind this movie was to retire him, I guess, but then you also didn't make us aware of the badassness of the new 007. So yeah, complete stupidity. This story was absolutely garbage. I mean, I could have probably come up with something way better. The bad guy, yet again, stupid as fuck. Imagine this, okay? You've got a thing that you can infect the whole entire planet with, and you can hold the whole entire planet hostage. And you're telling me you want to make more money by selling it to buyers? Are you joking? Who fucking came up with that concept? You've got your hand on the apocalypse. You've got the trigger to world peace and all this kind of shit. You have the ability to shut down all these like corrupt pieces of shit. You have the possibility of becoming the most powerful person on the planet. And you are handing over your power to shitbags who would use it to kill you in turn. Like, who the fuck came up with this fucking shitty fucking script? Like, who came up with this idea? It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. It's like having Thanos' power to wipe out half the universe, and you're like, hey, I'm just gonna give it to some random Joe Schmo so he can do as he please with that power. Are you fucking joking me? So idiotic. Like, why would you assume someone who has that kind of power would even care about money? Because apparently he has the amount of money to go face off against Spectre by himself. It never showed any other individual who had his kind of power in his whole entire fucking time on screen. There's no other person. He has the power to kill Spectre, the power to do all of this shit, the power to infect the whole entire planet with something that can wipe out the planet. And you're telling me he wants more money? Fucking stupidity. Fucking absolute stupidity. The stupidest thing I've ever seen come out of a James Bond movie right now. It made me so mad to see that they wasted another 007. They wasted a cool concept that they could have used. They wasted a bad guy who could have potentially have all this backstory behind him that could have really shown how, you know what, true evil comes from good intentions. They could have gone with that. true evil that comes from good intentions. Like absolute waste on every aspect of this movie. And it made me so mad. I feel as if I wasted, and I've watched shitty movies. I'm not saying this movie is absolutely shitty. I'm just saying like a majority of it is shitty. Because it's unbelievable that you could have, I'm sorry, I'm ranting a little bit, but it's just profoundly stupid from what I just saw. Like it's just so stupid. There's so much that could have been done. So much story, so much interest you could have made when it with the new James Bond, with the well, the new Bond or the new 007, sorry. But just to waste it on this. A man who has all this another aspect that made me really mad. He has all this power and then he drags a 007 a 007 into this mix. Like why? Why do you need to go and interfere with 007s? You could have had this power and not drag them into this, and you would have been fine. You would have been fine. You could have had complete control over the world, and yet, hey, let me go and let me go poke the hornet's nest and see what happens. Like fucking incredibly stupid, so stupid. So fucking stupid. Absolute stupidity. Now, what I'm gonna give this movie is gonna be a fucking 4 out of 10 because it's so goddamn stupid. A waste of so many things, a complete waste, and it's very disappointing from a 007 movie. Well, James Bond movie or a Daniel Craig movie because I found he was probably the best James Bond up until now. Complete fucking utter garbage. And I'm gonna assume that the majority of people probably gave this a fucking 7 on 10. I don't even want I this is probably the first movie I actually want to go and see what the rating is for this fucking movie because I want to know if people actually found this good because this was stupid. This was absolutely stupid on all fronts. Like complete garbage. And I mean, I've watched garbage, but this movie actually makes me rant and made me so mad that. Anyways. So yeah, that's my verdict. For future episodes, I'm probably gonna do a little something different, just so you guys know. I'm not too sure what I'm gonna watch next, but hopefully it's gonna be something worthwhile. Maybe I'm gonna go for not like a AAA movie or something like that, a blockbuster movie, because I think I need to find something entertaining to get rid of this frustration of watching this movie. Anyways, I'll see you guys on the next one.